You've undergone IVF 6 times to conceive this child. Ms. Caldwell, are you sure you want to give up? Is Mr. Spencer okay with this? I'm sure he'll agree. Callista Caldwell's voice is hoarse after a sleepless night. She's never felt more awake, though. I'll schedule the surgery for a week from now. Then, it's Callista and Luther Spencer's wedding anniversary in a week. This is good. She can end things where they started. After booking her flight out of the country, she places her hand on her abdomen. There's a blossoming life in there. She's looked forward to this for the past 5 years. She never would have expected to give up on it before it could happen. Chapter. The phone pinged again, showing the same trending topic that had been circulating for half a month. Luther Spencer had spent a fortune on a luxurious estate. He had planted an entire garden of roses by hand to celebrate his 5th wedding anniversary. Once again, he announced to the world that his heart belonged solely to Callista Caldwell. Countless comments followed, and each of them was expressing envy for their love. Who says relationships with an age gap don't work out? Mr. Spencer's ultimate wedding gift is his hopeless devotion. It said Mrs. Spencer is 6 years older, and it took him 3 years of relentless pursuit to win her over. Everyone knows Mr. Spencer adores his wife. 2 years ago, when Mrs. Spencer was trapped during the earthquake, Mr. Spencer risked his life to rescue her. He was covered in injuries when he was finally pulled out, and yet he was more set on comforting his terrified wife. The news even showed him holding her, and both of them were in tears. And last year, when a media outlet mocked Mrs. Spencer for her age and claimed she couldn't have children, Mr. Spencer sued them into bankruptcy. He even made a public statement saying he didn't care whether they had children or not, but he would never allow anyone to hurt his wife over it. Callista couldn't help but force a bitter smile as she read these comments. Luther truly did ensure no one could hurt her, yet every pain she ever felt was dealt by him. When Callista first confirmed her pregnancy, she had been eager to share the good news with Luther, but then she received a message from an unknown sender. It was a photograph of a pregnant woman. The young woman's smile was radiant as she posed for the pregnancy photograph. Meanwhile, Luther knelt beside her. He was reverently kissing her rounded belly. His face was filled with joy and contentment. Tears streamed down Callista's face. The ultrasound image she had suffered through 6 rounds of IVF to obtain now felt like a cruel joke. On their wedding day, Luther had sworn he would love only her for the rest of his life, but it turned out the so-called rest of his life lasted only 5 years. If that was the case, Callista decided she no longer wanted Luther in her life, and her child would not be born into a web of lies. The door creaked open. Callista's tear-streaked, bloodshot eyes met Luther's, and he immediately panicked. What's wrong, honey? What happened? Don't cry, I'll fix it. He glanced at the ultrasound image on the table. Without looking too closely, he pulled her into his arms. It's okay if the IVF didn't work. Even if we never have kids, it doesn't matter. Having you is enough for me. Shoo, don't cry anymore. It hurts me to see you like this. Callista gave a smile that looked worse than crying. This man was such a hypocrite. His child with someone else was about to be born, and yet he was saying this to her face. Luther didn't notice the change in her demeanor and continued comforting her. Callie, our anniversary is in a week. I've planted an entire sea of roses for you and prepared blue fireworks. I'll set them off for you to see. Okay, isn't blue your favorite color? Callista stared at him blankly. She was still smiling even as tears rolled down her cheeks. It seemed he didn't remember. She had never liked the color blue. Then, in a week, I'll give you an anniversary gift too, she said. Luther's eyes lit up with excitement as he carefully wiped away her tears of joy. Honey, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to your surprise. Callista silently stared at the ultrasound image. She hoped that when the time came, Luther would truly be surprised. Chapter. At noon the next day, Luther took Callista to the Spencer residence for lunch. Luther's mother, Jane Dawson,